Namaste everyone. Very warm welcome to Satsang today. Sadhguru Sri Muji Ji ki Jai. So we are contemplating the Ashtavakra Gita, and yesterday we covered the first 4 verses of the first chapter. The chapter is called Instruction on Self-Realization. It starts with Janaka, who is the seeker, who's asking and saying, Master, how is knowledge to be achieved, detachment acquired, and liberation attained? Ashtavakra said, to be free, shun the experiences of the senses like poison. Turn your attention to forgiveness, sincerity, kindness, simplicity, and truth. And we described these words in detail yesterday. If somebody is confused or doesn't understand what the sage is saying in this one, you can refer to the recording of the transcript from yesterday. Ashtavakra says, you are not earth, water, fire or air, nor are you empty space. Liberation is to know yourself as awareness alone, the witness of these. So this is one of those verses which just this verse is enough. You are not earth, water, fire or air, nor are you empty space. Liberation is to know yourself as awareness alone, the witness of these. Abide in awareness with no illusion of person. You will be instantly free and at peace. Abide in awareness with no illusion of person. You will be instantly free and at peace. So this is where we got to yesterday. Then the sage says, you have no caste or duty. You are unattached, formless. You are the witness of all things. Be happy. You have no caste or duties. You are invisible, unattached, formless. You are the witness of all things. Be happy. So he says, you are invisible, unattached, and formless. Now, in this line itself, it becomes clear that the mind cannot fathom this. If I say to you, can you think about nothing? Just think nothing. Or have a visual of nothing, not even space. Can you do it? Think of something which has no form, not even black space, a white light, a white space, anything. No form whatsoever, no attribute. Nothing that you can truly say about it. And for this one, says it is you. It is you. So if you don't have a size, shape, color, birth, death, then you have no caste or duties. What does this mean, caste or duty? Why caste? Because when the scripture was written, It was very important part of the identity, this caste. And it was very aligned with the duties. So if you were a Kshatriya, then you must fight. If you're a Brahman, then you must do the rituals. So identity was such a important aspect back then. And the sage saying that you have no form, you have no shape, you have no size, you are unattached, you are invisible. What does invisible mean? Invisible means that not visible through sight and not even conceptualized in our imagination. Invisible both in this outer perceptual way as well as the inner perception. And this is also a very important clue, you see, because many times when it is said that you are not phenomenal, the mind tries to offer you something not phenomenal. The most common offering from mind is to paint a picture like some dark, empty space. That's why in the previous verse, the sage quickly said, "Nor are you empty space." So you have no tasks or duties. You are invisible, unattached, formless. You are the witness of all things. Be happy. And every verse is a pointing for our self-inquiry. Every verse is a pointing for our self-inquiry. Because if you were just to describe it in these ways and not say you are the witness of all things, then it might seem like, how do I find this that is formless? I have no clue. I have no direction. The direction is here. What witnesses all things? What witnesses sight? There is sight, which is perception. What is the witness of sight? What is the witness of sound? Taste, smell, touch, memory, imagination, emotion. All of these, if we call them appearances because they come and go, are you also an appearance? So in the Vedantic tradition, all that is changing is called an appearance. So every time we identify with something that is changing as ourself, then we are identifying with the limited notion of ourself. But what witnesses this limitation? So if consciousness is in that phase where it enjoys the play of the limited identity, then it continues to play as if it is limited. And as consciousness is getting out of this play of limitation and coming to this recognition of the unlimited self, that which is not perceivable in this way, that which is not attached, has no form. And every verse is about you. All of this, as Guruji says, is about you, just not you personally. Right and wrong, pleasure and pain exist in mind only. They are not your concern. You neither do nor enjoy. You are free. Right and wrong, pleasure and pain exist in mind only. They are not your concern. You neither do nor enjoy. You are free. So, in the appearances of this world, based on our conditioning, based on our ideas that we have about ourselves, some appearances are interpreted as right, some appearances are interpreted as wrong. And that is okay as far as the phenomenal world is concerned. But it does not apply to you. This duality does not apply to you. Pleasure and pain also is taken individually. And we'll expound on this a little more as we go along. So, right and wrong, pleasure and pain comes from the mind, means that it's taken individually, is judged or interpreted to be something which is happening to an entity called me. But there is no such entity called me. It is just the interpretation of the mind. It is the concept of the mind. As awareness, you are the witness of all things. You are not the doer in that way. Okay, let's explain this a little more because there is some potential to get confused with this. What are the options for who could be the doer or experiencer? So let's take the example of right now. Who is doing the hearing? Is Manju or Achala or Paul or Claire? Is there an entity sitting here who is doing the hearing? Now the mental interpretation of what we are, the identity that doesn't know how to do things, it doesn't know how to move a finger actually. This non-existent entity which presumes to have so much control over life and this body doesn't know how to fire a neuron. Because it doesn't exist, you see. And soon this statement will start sounding so silly and ludicrous. It's like me saying, I'm coming up with a funny example. The, the most popular one, of course, is the cat one. If I say to you, imagine that you are a cat and give this cat some story about where it was born and where it is going. And then I say to you, this cat, ask it to get you a glass of water or ask it to hear this satsang and tell this cat to pay attention to what I'm saying. So this idea of the individual entity is very much like this. It has no tangible reality. It is just an idea that we reinforce with all our belief. So the non-existent one definitely is not the doer, nor is it the experiencer. Instead of you neither do nor enjoy, I would change that word a little bit from enjoy to experience. Because the enjoy part can bring another idea to us. And this is a very important point about surrender. Most beings that I meet who say that we are surrendered to the Lord or we are surrendered to the Master have only surrendered their doership to some extent. but they have not surrendered their experiencership. That is why there is so much beauty in this simple statement, which I repeated so often in Satsang over the years. True surrender is to say, Tvam Karta, Tvam Bhokta, which means, Lord or Guru, you are the doer and you are the experiencer. It is the same holy presence, it is the same consciousness, which is the light of this movement of consciousness, and also the one that tastes this moment, tastes the phenomenal appearance. So you personally don't even exist. Therefore, you personally cannot be the doer nor the experiencer. That which appears in this dynamic aspect is being, is consciousness, which is the one doer and the one experiencer. It is not individual. Therefore, no experience can harm it, hurt it. This consciousness remains untouched. In fact, it is the light, the screen, the director, the producer, the actor, everything that is playing here. But Ashtavakra is pointing you even deeper than that. It is saying that you witness even this play of God, of consciousness. You are that which is so beyond this phenomenal realm, within which an aspect of you is dancing this dance, playing this play, and yet you remain untouched. You neither do nor enjoy. Who is this one? That which witnesses everything. Who witnesses everything? You do. You neither do nor enjoy. You are free. In fact, so much beyond even any concept of freedom you are. Now, this is the verse which everybody remembers from my last two times of sharing the Ashtavakra, and it is one of my favorites also. You are the solitary witness of all that is, forever free. Your only bondage is not seeing this. Again, who is talking about? You are the solitary witness of all that is, forever free. Your only bondage is not seeing this. There is one witness to this entire play. There is only one awareness. And yet, in the being that emerges out of this self, in the play of consciousness that emerges out of this self, it can seem like it plays as if there are multitudes, all aspects of consciousness. All different flavors are available here. The entire spectrum. If there is a sage, there is also the axe murderer. If there is sublime joy, there can be horrendous fear, all appearing within one consciousness. If there's one mind which has certain ways of operation, there are all different types of minds also that appear, all different qualities of thought, all different appearances of action. What witnesses all of this? The sage says, you are the solitary witness of all that is, forever free. The only bondage is not seeing this. So, what does it mean that the only bondage is not seeing this? If I am the solitary witness, then how can I be bound? If I have no form, if I have no shape and size, how can I have bondage? Can we take this one down as a question to ask? The sage said so many beautiful things about us. You are the one solitary witness of all that is. You have no shape, no size, you are unattached, formless. You should just, you're happy, you're free. Then how come he says your only bondage is not seeing this? How can I miss this? What happens? Okay, if I speak more, then the answers are coming. Would you like to share? What is bondage? And who does it apply to? You take a few moments and contemplate this, maybe a minute or two. And then if there are some answers, I'm happy to hear. I'm going to be collecting all your notebooks, you know that. So what is bondage? And who does it apply to? Hmm? Radha is saying something, but little louder, my dear.
Here it just looks like identifying with any movement is a phenomenal existence.
Yes. So there is a witness. There is a witness. And we saw there is a phenomenal movement. Now, what is this identify?
Is imagining that it's happening to you, like you as an entity,
Yes.
like a limited form.
Yes.
Body, mind.
So, what is
Anything
the?
can move through,
Yes.
but as soon as you attach, saying I want this or I don't want this kind of movement, any movement.
But how does the witness is just witnessing? So how does the witness say all this I want or I don't
This
want?
isn't saying
The witness doesn't.
this just buys into a thought basically that I don't want it to be this way or I want it anything, like any thought. Then it feels like it's a limited entity in this body, the body mind structure basically.
So you come closer, Radha. Yeah. Let's go real slowly so everyone understands what we're saying. There is a witness. Now there is a time where there is only this witness. there is no appearance. Isn't it? You have the experience of that?
So when you say witness,
Like awareness,
okay.
where,
Yes.
let's say, the deep sleep state, where there is no phenomena. The phenomenal being, the phenomenal presence, at the root of all phenomena, which is consciousness, is not present. So this witness is there. Now, when only the witness is there, then any sort of trouble, anything we can say about bondage or freedom, then first what has to happen?
It's like something arises out of
Yes.
the witness, which we call the presence of the being. Then it's out of, and it feels here like it creates this entire phenomenal existence. And then and it's all there is, it's only it. But then when it feels like, and the only way it could do it is by into a thought or identify
Okay, now
with the
this
mind.
part's slower. Now you say, with the emergence of this dynamic aspect that we call consciousness, then comes this waking state or dream state, a state where there is phenomenal movement. Now, all kinds of phenomena are there. Yesterday we saw all these phenomena. Then, what else is there? So, phenomenal appearances are there. One of the phenomenal appearances is thought. Then, what engages with that thought? In what way does consciousness play as if it is engaged with this thought?
When it believes a thought, I mean, the thought could just pass just like any other appearance.
Now, what is this belief?
When it imagines itself to be, I feel like belief is like when it say, I believe a thought,
Yes.
then I'm imagining myself to be something that I'm not.
Yes.
I'm already
Yes.
me,
Yes.
has presence.
Yes.
And then I imagine myself to be in this body as a separate somebody,
Yes.
which is not really true because everything is only me. And then I feel like everything else is an object. If I identify with the mind, it says this is a pillow or this is a body, and then I start playing as a separate entity.
So, does belief only engage with thought?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I pose the question. Beautiful.
There's no other way.
So, if there is an object, without the limitation of this object, which comes from that which we call the mind, there is no concept of belief or not belief. There is only the play of attention. The attention on an object can happen. And attention actually inherently by itself leads to no trouble. Therefore, we don't even need to forcefully control our attention in some way. So attention can also be let free. So now what did we see? There was just this witness, which is awareness, within which comes this being or consciousness, I am. And as long as I am, just I am, no trouble. All of this is still talk to you. So as long as you are just this I am, then no seeming trouble seems to come. Then she says that the phenomenal play starts with so many different objects. Now attention can go to all of these objects. One of these objects is called thought. Thought is what? Is like this inner mental voice whose only job seems to be to convince this I am that I am, that is, I am something. See? Not this unlimited being, but I am something. See? So, in that way, I would say this Atma poses as if it is a Jivatma. I am something. See, the minute it picks up the idea, I am something, it is posing as if it is a limited entity. So, in this way, so we've seen the consciousness to play this game in this way, also given itself the power not just of attention with which all of this is tasted, all this phenomenal realm is tasted, but also given itself the power to believe what its own creation, this mind, is saying. And it is saying that you are something limited. So the the play of buying into this limited idea of ourselves, then is this bondage. Right? So your only bondage is not seeing this. So let's look at this. What do we do in satsang? The play of satsang is like this. We come in believing that I am something. And what does the master point you to? He says, can you stop being? This being is here. Now what trouble does this being have? What are the boundaries of this being? So it is unlimited. Does this being have a relationship? Does this being have a job? So it doesn't have. And all this trouble, which belonged to the identity I am something, seems to fall away. Then the master might say, what is that which is aware even of your own being? What is aware even of your own being? Say, I am. If you don't think about it too much, naturally you say, I am. If you start thinking about it, it can seem confusing. So naturally you say, it is I that experiences, that is aware of my own presence, my own being, in the light of which all this phenomenal play seems to happen. That is why coming to satsang, the self-inquiry is the seeing of this consciousness, playing as if it is I am something, then consciousness itself coming to the recognition of what it really is, the seeing of this. So that's why the sage said, you are the solitary witness of all that is, forever free. Your only bondage is not seeing this. Why? Because it is seen that as long as you come to this recognition, you play as if you are something. And something could be any of the attributes you've given to yourself. I'm a man, I'm a woman, I'm a husband, I'm a wife. All of these attributes make a limitation where actually none exists. And we have clues about this everywhere. When we watch a movie, when we read a book, if you cannot identify with any of the characters, you will find it a very boring movie, a very boring movie, not engaging. Somebody will say, you ask, did you enjoy the movie or a book? They no, not really. Why? Characters were relatable. What does it mean to relate? Couldn't identify with them. So what does that mean? I couldn't believe that I would be or I could be in that situation. This ability to take a part of the appearance and say, this is me. This is the power of identifying, the power of identification. Right? Consciousness giving itself the ability to play as if it is the ego, as if it is a separate entity to the rest of the appearance. So that's why all of satsang, or most of satsang, is about this, the recognition of what you really are. Because your only bondage is not seeing this. I usually speak about another aspect of bondage, because I like to feel that most of you who've been in satsang have seen this. Yeah, I keep prodding you with inquiries, various questions, various forms. So you have seen this. You are aware. You are aware. What is the form of this awareness? It is formless. What is the distance between you and this awareness? There is none. Is there somewhere where you are but awareness is not? No. So you are having these recognitions for yourself. So you see this. But very quickly what can happen is that because our habit has been to identify with that limited entity, then even this seeing, you say I, which is something, I Ananta, had the experience of myself as awareness. This is not true. It is consciousness which came to the recognition of its own source. And awareness always knows that it is aware anyway. There is no Ananta who came to the recognition. The minute we start to claim it personally, that's why usually when somebody has a strong experience in satsang, I don't give it too much importance, especially when it feels like it is being claimed personally. That individual claiming, this individual proclaiming that I have seen it, you see, can become the foundation for a spiritual ego, foundation for arrogance or specialness. It is not you personally. That one still was never born. That comes to the recognition. It is only consciousness playing this game of deluding itself and coming out of this delusion. So as you see this, that this discovery is not personal. It is not an individual entity that is recognizing this witness, this awareness. Then there is no ground for any sort of spiritual ego. Guruji also says it best. If I remember correctly, it is Guruji, I'm not sure. If you feel you don't get it, haven't got it, come to satsang. If you feel you got it, come to satsang. Either way, is to come to satsang. Because in satsang, the ego is down one way or the other. No matter what the color, tone of the ego might be. It's good to come to satsang. Okay. Let's do more than 4 verses today. The thought and the doer is the bite of a poisonous snake. To know I do nothing is the wisdom of faith. Be happy. The thought. Okay, I'll get to the chat in a minute. The thought and the doer is the bite of a poisonous snake. To know I do nothing is the wisdom of faith. Now we talked about this, the 3 levels of where worship. Personally, I am doing and I'm suffering. That is completely made up, belongs to the identity which actually doesn't exist. Again, taking a set of sensations and saying that these are individual, these are me. That's why when we look, when you come with suffering and we look and say, who is the sufferer? You don't find the sufferer. Right now, if you move your hand, you'll find that there is no individual entity actually which is moving it. It is just moving with the force of the light of consciousness, with the power of consciousness. So this idea, I'm the doer, is one of the strongest legs of the ego. I've spoken about this before, where I've said that this ego is a 3D ego. 3D ego. 3D ego means what? First D is doership. Okay, let's start in order, then it'll be clear. First D is duality. So there is a me and there is other. There's the rest of the world. So this duality is the source of separation. Now, because we feel our consciousness believes itself to be something separate, that duality is real, it happened, then it can say, this I desire, the second D of desire. Because I'm just this. whatever that conception might be. The most popular being this body-mind organism. I'm this body-mind organism. Therefore, this is not me, but I want it. I desire it. You see? So without separation, can there be desire? If already everything is you, what could you desire? Or concept of desire. Like I was sharing the other day, Paramahansa Yogananda, saying, wherever I go, I feel like everything belongs to me. So it can sound like a very strange statement, but if you look at it really, the depths of it, you're saying that actually all of it is just one. There is one appearance. So this desire doesn't exist in that way. Then, if I desire a coconut, then what should I do? The third D, doership. I should climb a coconut tree and get it. So then, because of this duality, desire, doership, then these become the three Ds of the ego. I do. And this, I've taken a simple example, but because of this doership, you'll see that all of our grievances are because of doership. Many times we have this Advaita Satsang syndrome where we feel like, oh, we are no longer the doer. But this other one doesn't come to Satsang. He is still the doer, or she is still the doer. Very convenient Advaita where we absolve ourselves of all responsibility, but those around us are still individual doers. We have these strange ideas. So if the concept of doership is dropped, then not just guilt, pride, and these things, but also grievances. Who is doing what to who? What injustice has been done upon me by another if there is no other and no me? So, so when Ashtavakra said forgiveness, kindness, automatically as you're seeing yourself to be what you are, in all this dropping of grievances, dropping of ideas of doership, more and more as we are coming to the recognition of what we are, in these three Ds of doership, desire, duality, they start to dissolve. The thought I am the doer is the bite of a poison in the fire of an instant. Be happy. Let's close with this one today, and this is very, very, very important. Understanding, I am the one awareness, consumes all suffering in the fire of an instant. Right now, in this moment, everything from the past is gone. And you are aware of your existence. And unless you pick up an idea, you will not find suffering. We seem to be getting disconnected over and over. But this is a good example, you see, because now what we are talking about is still the same. In this moment, you are aware, you exist. Now, unless you believe a thought about yourself, unless you give assent to your limitation, can you show me suffering? Can you show me any doership? Is that which exists, that which is aware of existence, does that have a desire? Is it lacking in something? Unless you buy an interpretation from the mind, in this instant it is done. And in every instant it is done. It simply only means that you are always that. Do you see now that the effort, if there is effort, is in the pretense of bondage? How many see, after all the explanation of today, how many see that if there is effort, it is effort not to find freedom, because freedom, we just check this instant, I am free. The other day we did like this with Manju also, and she saw in that moment, she saw, "Oh, I am the self, I am unlimited." So in this instant, if effortlessly you start off as free, or if you start off as just the self with no idea I am something, then what must effort be? The effort must be to pose as if you are something limited. The pretense of ego, this, and it is this mind itself which has convinced you that you must walk these 500 steps to come to freedom, because that is the play of individuality alone. If you are free now, in this moment, then where do you have to go? So what is effortless? That's why I say, because even this can be misused. That's why I say that even if it does feel like effort, to find your effortlessness. So this might seem like effort to you right now. You just check what is in this moment. Somebody can say, but I'm making this effort. This can be made. Is it? To come to the discovery of your effortlessness. If it feels like a little bit of effort is needed, otherwise you might say, oh, I'm always free. I just don't need to come to satsang because freedom should be effortless and satsang is coming to satsang is effort. I've heard these things. I don't want to do the inquiry because inquiry is effort. What is inquiry? Just the checking of what is, just the recognition of what is. But the mind can make that seem like effort, and to be deluded in as if you are personal, as if you're the ego, can seem to be effortless because of habit. But actually, what are you finding? You're finding that in this instant, I'm completely untouched by any of this phenomenal play, unless I pick up a concept, I pick up a judgment or an inference. Nothing happens to me. Even if there is pain in the body, the pain is tasted, but you find no individual sufferer of the pain. Even to say that there is an individual entity in pain needs a concept. Consciousness, you, your being, is full of space. Okay, don't get confused with that statement. It's so spacious that everything is allowed within it, and it will never run out of the space of experiencing. It is only when you define yourself, consciousness defines itself to be something small, that it can claim that it is overwhelmed by something. How can everything get overwhelmed by something? Can the ocean get overwhelmed by a wave, no matter how big the tidal wave is? Can the ocean be overwhelmed? So in this moment, it is so natural and obvious that you are existing. Are you existing effortlessly or with effort? To exist, what is the effort you are making? You're making, you can say, to just be. Is it effortless or effortful to exist? You can say if it feels like effort, it is effortless. So existence is effortless. To be aware of this existence, to know that I exist, not mentally, but just to be aware of it. Is that effortless or effortful? Find somebody else to, like, please look at someone else. To be aware of your existence. Effortful or effortless? So I repeat. To exist, is it effortful or effortless? Then you are aware of this existence, isn't it? Are you making some effort to be aware of this? In Rishikesh, you were sure you exist. Here, you're in doubt. Maybe I exist, maybe I don't exist.
In Rishikesh, this awareness is not phenomenal.
In Rishikesh, the awareness is not phenomenal. Someone sit here so they can hear you.
It's not a phenomenal.
Whether Rishikesh or not, it is not a phenomenal thing.
It's not phenomenal.
Okay.
It's absolutely not phenomenal.
Yeah, absolutely not.
It's just not so plain.
Yeah?
Like it is not. It's not very ordinary, if I'm in a level of body mind.
If you are in the level of body mind, are you?
No, I'm not.
I'm not. No, I'm not. Can you ever be truly? Or you can only pose or pretend? Truly, can you just be the body mind? What does it mean? That this entire realm is appearing. My existence is there, which is unlimited. I am aware of this existence, and yet I am just those sensations, which is body mind. Is that possible? You got the question? So, no matter what the appearance is, you see, there is a body, there is a mind, there is an appearance of a world, there is a sense of existence, and there is awareness, which is the witness of all of this. None of this really goes in the waking state, isn't it? This is always there. Then, when you say, when I am the body mind, means that I, the awareness, when it actually becomes just this limited set of appearances. Is that possible? Are you referring to I as what? Is there a Gopala who's fluctuating between body, mind, and awareness? Okay, say what you were saying earlier in Rishikesh, something was clear. Now something is lost.
But I'm not happy with this kind of. Like yesterday, I was really.
You?
I was my heart.
You were your heart.
I was my heart, and it was so beautiful.
It was very good.
I was deep joy. So.
Yeah.
Uh,
Now, okay, go on. Otherwise, I'll stop you. Go on.
this is too plain.
Yesterday was good because there was so much joy. She's laughing, okay? But I'm going to tell you a story about her. You know the story which is coming. So there was a time where she was having all these bliss experiences. She's like, this bliss will come to satsang even otherwise at home. Just bliss. Father, will this ever go? Will I ever become normal? Will it ever go away and I have a regular life? Then on the bus ride to Thiru, something happened to her. And she said, it's gone. The bliss is gone. Now this is too dry. It is too dry. So, like you saying, it's too plain. It's too plain. Like when you feel like plain, it can feel like, oh, will the joy ever come back? So you notice that in this world of duality, there is joy, there is neutral, there is suffering, always pain. This ups and downs, this alternating current is the design of this world. Now, once you get attached to one aspect of the alternating wave, then what is going to happen to you? This. I know you might not feel it is true what I'm saying now, but the contrasts in life also give taste to the opposite. If you never experienced any plainness or any pain, then would the joy be valuable to you? You have a benchmark that freedom means this.
I'm not feeling that everything is me.
What are you feeling is me? You say, I'm not feeling everything is me. Therefore, you must be feeling that something is me.
Because I've met so many masters and all this time.
You can't say louder so everyone can hear. I'll repeat. Okay, I've had so many masters. Then what happened?
I read so many books.
I read so many books.
For these guys and masters. Yeah.
These guys, the masters, they did what?
Why don't you come sit here?
They had all,
Everything.
they had this experience where everything is me. Now, if I tell you that if your present experience is that, if I tell you that your present experience already is that all of this is you, experience, not interpretation.
I'm not convinced about it.
Yes. So,
In Rishikesh, I was convinced.
in Rishikesh, I was convinced, but in Bangalore, obviously not convinced. So, now, which part of this is not you right now? So, if you're not convinced everything is you, there must be a part which you are not. Which part is not? Huh? Wow. Now that's a moving target. First, let's see whether everything is you or not. Then we'll see whether that is wow. Okay, where is the separation between everything and you?
But it's only a concept for me. Because you said,
I'm asking you non-conceptually from your inside.
uh,
Tell me whether what is the boundary between everything.
all that I see within me. It's a concept that I have learned, right? Right? It's not felt. It's not felt.
It's not fair. It's not fair. So let's see whether it can become a felt, a tasted experience. Now, for that, you have to work with me. So you say that I don't feel like everything is me. Then I'm saying, what is the boundary between everything and me? What defines everything versus me? Can you, define the boundaries of yourself? Nothing from concept, from your own inside. What is your boundary? Look at your body. That is your boundary. This is your boundary. The appearance of these visual of hands. This defines you. Yes. This is within you. Okay. So if this is within you, what about this sound of these words? This is also happening inside you. So what is not inside you? I know the wow is not there right now. Beside that, can you tell me one thing which is not inside you, which is your experience of outside?
I know everything is space. There's no inside, no outside.
No, but this is conceptually. You come back to conceptually. I'm saying experientially. You say this body is inside me. You also say these words that you're hearing are inside you. Now, this you're saying from a concept you learned from me or from the experience you're having now. You have to look. Where is these words? Are they being heard inside you? Or is there something outside you?
Inside.
Don't have to. I never said close your eyes. Oh, that's what I'm saying. Keep your eyes open. You just look at your hands, you say inside me. What about these hands? Outside or inside? You see, what is happening is that many times when we hear these words, it can feel like I must have a out of body or near death or some experience.
No, I don't need
So
to.
you don't need. Don't. Then what if? So then that hand is inside you. This hand.
I'm not sure because conceptually I know.
Yeah. So keep the concept aside. Now tell me the boundary that separates this hand from you. What is the boundary that separates this hand from you? Is it the space? Is it the space in between?
Everything is same here. Yeah.
everything is seen here. Is there anything outside this here?
Sure. As I said in Michigan, I was sure. I was so sure. I was so sure.
Sure.
Yeah. That kind of sure thing is not coming.
And that one which was sure and is now unsure is which one? This is exactly what I was talking about some time ago. That our most pristine experiences, spiritual experiences, if there comes a claimant who says this was mine, then that claimant will also have suffering because no experience is constant. So if there is a state will come and go. I am pointing you to that in which all states come and go. All of that happens within what? So leave the one who was sure and unsure. Just check now.
There's no association with anything. There's no thoughts, no association. I'm not saying I am this. I could say I'm just being aware of this.
Just aware. Is that bad news?
Bad news.
Okay, suppose that you were not everything. You were just awareness. What are the pros and cons of that? You're just the witness of everything, but everything is not you, suppose. Oh, nothing is you actually. You are just awareness, nothing is you.
So,
This
so
body
the
is.
I is coming in.
Stay with this. So the body is not you, the mind is not you, nothing is you. You are just the witness.
No, nothing else. There's no movement, there's nothing else. I don't know how to place that. But I have to close my eyes.
Nothing wrong with closing eyes, but if the eyes are open, what changes? Just more visual content comes. Do you change? Do you become something?
So the content is.
Can you hear what he's saying? You can hear what he's saying? Kind of, policy. Come closer. Why? I'm going to bite, is it? What's happening?
It's very hard for them to hear. Use the chair.
I don't want to sit in the same sofa. I don't go there. But you're boring them more from there because they can't hear you. Okay.
Where are you? Are you there? Yeah, मुझे भी everything is so beautiful.
My energy field obviously has has a bad. Yes, sir. I need to do some more time. It goes 1 centimeter a day.
See, I'll come here.
This is a Rishikesh zone.
I'll come from. Come from deep background. Sometimes I feel things, you know, sometimes let's say. I think I'm stuck with this boundless love. I'm stuck with love. Is that a state where I'm stuck? I need this kind of, boundless love.
So when you say, I need, you are stuck. Now it is gone.
No, there's a
Now,
perspective.
Into
Came
space.
and sat next to me.
Yes, into space.
And it's just, I'm just flowing with tears. I feel it's just happening now. Yeah. We are in science. Why do I need to come and sit next to you?
Who is experiencing this flow of love? Is it you personally in any way? Consciousness is just tasting itself. What presence are you tasting? Your own presence. Sitting at the physical feet of the master, brings us closer to what? Our own inner presence. Why? Because even in the worldly way, it can seem like around those who don't pick up ideas of individuality or become universal in their approach, in their vision. Even in the worldly play, it can seem like as we get close to them, then it seems to be contagious, infectious. But does that mean that you're getting something from outside truly? The love that is arising in you, is it not coming from your own presence?
Why do I need this proximity of
How
physical master?
the better question is, how can you leave this proximity?
That's what I'm stuck with. I love this. Grown up by love. Is that a limitation? This is a
That which you are right now is being, is consciousness. You don't interpret what is happening right now. Do you have a need? Do you want anything? Do you have an idea of how the future should be, or it should always be like this? You start laughing at every thought like this. Because every thought is convincing you that you are something limited. You say, I want, I need. Means you don't have. But you are everything. You are all things. Right now, what are you? Are you just this body, Is there a separation between this hand and that hand?
It still doesn't come to the sahaja which you want us to be, and the fact that we're all the time. Just pure awareness, nothing else.
He says important thing which many of us in satsang get stuck with. He says, yes, but even this doesn't bring me to that which you want me to be in, which is to be aware all the time. But I'm not saying I want you to be aware all the time. I'm saying that you are aware all the time. You can't help it. If you were to try and be unaware, you couldn't.
Distracted.
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 Where will it go? Where will it go?
No, I don't have to seek it out. I know.
Yes, but where is this I landing right now?
No, I'm saying on a normal, the normal dynamics of life.
Who's
I'm always affecting, I'm always watching to be there. To constantly be there.
Yes, that is the nature of the seeker.
I don't want to be a seeker. I want to drop the seeking everything.
Okay, drop the seeking and also drop the I who doesn't want to be a seeker.
First time. It's good. It's really good. But why do I need to come to you and sit here, hold you and all that, massage you, and all that very natural, and hug you. I feel so many things.
So that in your play you don't become arrogant. The one that is directing this play knows better. If you insist on calling yourself that move from there to here, then even for that, it's very beautiful. Is it so bad to have to come and sit next to me?
We should get to that every day.
But you are here every day. Have I ever
Yes,
said
but I
no?
want to come sit here next to you.
You do it for as long as you want.
Well, everybody has to have turn. I can't be selfish.
It's okay.
It's a big sofa.
Yeah. Thank you. Hold on.
Why are you running off? Put on the table. Okay, let's look. It's been a long satsang, so let's look at one last question where Vidya asked, does conceptual understanding ever translate into insight? Vidya, are you here, my dear? You're here, I see you. Does your mic also work?
Yeah, now it works.
It works well, yes, I hear you, my dear. So let's look at this. This is a very good question. You say, does conceptual understanding ever translate into insight? So can you take me through an example of conceptual understanding that you have, which you don't feel is an insight yet?
Well, I've been following this for a number of years now, so everything seems so clear when I read. You know, can you hear me?
Yeah. Yes, very well. Yes.
Yes. So when I
Maybe
listen
I'm
to,
used.
so everything seems so clear when I listen to it or read. Um, when I read Nisa Samaraj or I listen to Muji or listen to you, there is no doubt, there's no space, but it doesn't really translate into real knowing. Like there's not a felt knowing. So, and it feels like that is always going to be there. There's always going to be that distance between actual knowing and knowing here.
Very good. So, take an example of something which is very clear of what you hear in satsang. And when you hear it, it's very clear intellectually, but you feel is not your direct insight yet.
Yes.
So, can you take one example? Is it like an example like I am awareness, or what is it that it seems very clear when you hear it, but still you don't feel is your insight?
For example, it's very clear I'm not this body mind. If I actually think about it, I cannot be this body mind. But my day-to-day experience is that I'm very much confined to this body mind.
Now, if I were to tell you that actually this is not your experience at all, but it is only an inference from the mind, that your inference is that your experience is not that you are the body mind. You are experiencing this body as a set of sensations and some visuals, and if you are interpreting it as you, and all the other sensations which you are experiencing, you are interpreting that as not me. In your experience is exactly the same as the experience of a child. A child doesn't have this idea of separation. So our experiences always remain the same. It is only this voice of conditioning, which could have come from our parents, it could have come from this mind. It says, yes, this sensation is me, but the sound of the traffic on the road is not me. What tells us that? Is it the experience which is telling us that?
No, it's a voice in the head, I guess.
Yes, yes. So you see, the experience is always this. We are always experiencing the truth, but we are interpreting it as if it is personal. See? I
Then
know
how
that
do you
that can seem like a bit of a leap, because we've always believed that my experience will change when I'm free. You see? But it is not that the experience will change. It is only that we are not buying the mind stories about what the experience is or what the experience means. Right now, there is an experience of some sensations, and if you don't label them my body, you just notice that there are some sensations. In the same way, there is the sound of this voice, which is another set of sensations. What is it that makes that more me and this less me? From your experience, from your insight, it is the same. It's just different quality of sensations that you are experiencing. It is only the interpretive mind which comes and says, this me, that somebody else, that outside. Without that, it is one appearance with no separation. And this is your experience right now.
Then how does this habit break? What makes this habit break?
Yes, yes. There are two aspects to this. You see, the first aspect is what we do in Satsang every day, which is to come to the recognition, what is it that I truly am? Who is the one that is aware? Who witnesses even my existence? So in this, we come to this recognition about the greater aspect of my self. And we see that this dynamic aspect is a part of me which just comes and goes. So then what happens is, as you taste yourself more and more in this way, then when the mind comes with its stories about your limitation and why you are still stuck and you are not getting it, then you start to look at it and see that which one is you, which one is this mind talking about? You see? So it's easier to drop the belief in this one as more and more you're recognizing what you are. And what happens also is that as you're dropping belief in this one, the recognition seems to become more and more effortless. So in that way, it becomes a virtuous cycle. You see? So in satsang, what is happening is both sides. There is inquiry where we are dropping, where we are recognizing what we are, and there are interactions where we are dropping that which we believe ourselves to be falsely. Both of them become this virtuous cycle. So as more and more you recognize what you are, you find it easier to drop that which is false about yourself. And more you drop that which is false about yourself, the easier it seems to recognize it. So this is how this habit is broken. That's why Guruji says that this is satsang is like a rehab. It's a rehab that God is created for God itself. Because God is posing as if it is a limited entity, and then God comes in the form of a teacher, you see, and says, but you are not that. This habit is broken like this. Everything in satsang is in service to the recognition of what you are, and you are dropping the false conditions about who you are. This way, very soon, actually, you start to see that those which were very strong thoughts, especially these seeker variety thoughts, which can be very limiting in some way. I just don't get it. I've been at this for many years, and others seem to get it easily. These kind of thought patterns. Then, if you just look and say, what is it talking about? What is here that is getting it or not getting it? You start to see more and more that there is no such individual entity here. There is just this boundless being, boundless existence. I am. An awareness even of this before I am. So then you will find that we find it more and more difficult to attach attributes to I am. We find it more and more difficult to say I am this, I am that. You find that this anything that you attach to this I am actually becomes a statement of some sort of limitation. But what you find more and more about yourself, to your insight, reality is that you don't have that. So it is like growing out of this identity of personhood. Just like we grew out of when we were children, we would have had an attraction to some dollhouse or some other forms of play, but we grew out of it because we recognize that I'm not that little child anymore. My interests have changed. I would rather read some literature than play with my dolls or something like that. That transformation happened because we recognized ourselves to be something else. In the same way, now this radical transformation is happening. You're recognizing that you're beyond all limitations. You're beyond time and space. And you will find that the mind is not designed to just keep quiet as this recognition is happening. It will also come with its battle and say, no, no, but you are this. See, you got angry the other day. That means that you're still not free. You come with all these reports about yourself. But, but as you stay in satsang, as you stay with your inquiry, as you stay with the recognition of what you are, you will find that more and more of these thoughts become laughable. So the only difference between you and a sage right now is that a sage is laughing at most of his or her thoughts, whereas you seem to be taking them a little more seriously. That's all. Experientially, there is no difference.
Thank you.
So, thank you all so much for being in satsang today. Sadhguru Shri Muji Ji ki Jai.
Jai.
those who are new to satsang in this way, I want to say one thing, that just don't worry about it. It's all being taken care of. And it's especially easier if you don't have an expectation of how that taking care of should happen. You'll see that all these things like Ashtavakra, Rivu Gita, Avadhuta Gita, which can seem very distant, abstract, they might even start sounding like kindergarten. You might even feel like sometimes being a bit blasphemous and say, I could have said it a bit better than it is. Let's not go too far right now. But you will find it very, very straightforward. My Father's grace is with all of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Love you, love you, love you. Okay, so what I wanted to do today is do the Ram chanting again, which came up for someone. So some in the Sangha are going through some very rough times, and phenomenally, of course, rough times. And from here it developed. I was joking after satsang yesterday. There will come a point in satsang where I would have contradicted everything I've ever said. So many times I've said here that there is no practice and we do no practices, and yet for some who are suffering, it came from here to suggest a practice to them, and I would like to take those of you who are interested in things like this to through it also, and just for our joy, for enjoyment, nothing serious about it, just playfully. So for those who feel to leave right now, I completely understand, but the rest of us uh, can stay and do this little bit of Ram chanting, and, just with the intent of experiencing clearly the divine presence in our heart, which of course is not the physical heart, although I keep pointing to it. So for those of you who are going, so much love to all of you, my loves. Same applies to this room also. Very naturally and playfully, bring your attention to where it is comfortable. If your attention is comfortable in the region of the heart, then we can bring our attention there. Some of you, your attention is more comfortable between your eyebrows, you can bring your attention there. Wherever you feel like attention is at rest and is comfortable, keep your attention there and just follow along. Take some long, deep breaths. Ram, Ram, Ram. Ram, Ram, Ram. Ram 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 Effortlessly allow your attention to immerse itself in the divine presence. If you find yourself distracted, just hear the sound of your breaths. Natural breaths, effortless breath. Just keep your attention with the hearing of your breath. Let there be peace. Let there be peace. Let there be peace. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.